Alright, so this is the first problem. We have a function given here, f of x equals the square root of x plus 5x plus 1, all that divided by the square root of x. They're asking us to find f prime of x. Alright, so we can go ahead and approach this many different ways. You guys know the quotient rule, you also know the product rule, but I'm going to go ahead and approach this differently. I'm going to grab this and I'm going to go and break this up into this. So I'm going ahead and breaking the fraction into 3 different fractions. Okay, so there's our new function here. And now we want to go ahead and take the derivative of this function, which is the same thing as taking the derivative of this function. But we do know that if we can take the derivative of this whole function, we can just take the derivative of this part, then add it to the derivative of this part, and then add it to the derivative of this part. So now we have f prime x. Okay, this can cancel out. The square root of x divided by the square root of x is just 1. So the derivative of 1 is 0. Okay, here, actually let's backtrack a little bit. Let's keep simplifying first. And then at the end we'll go ahead and do the derivative. So like we said, this is 1. This right here we have 5x. The square root of x can also be denoted as x to the 1/2. And this one, we can go ahead, this is x to the 1/2, but we can bring it to the top. So we have x to the negative 1/2. Okay, let's go ahead and keep simplifying this before we even do any derivatives. That's still 1. We have x to the 1 here, so we go ahead and subtract x to the 1 divided by x to the 1/2. We subtract the exponents. So what do we get? We get 1 minus 1/2 is 1. Or sorry, 1/2. So we're left with 5x to the 1/2 on the top, and that's gone. So we have that. Plus x to the negative 1/2. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead, we already simplified this function into this, now into this, and now we're going to go ahead and take the derivative. So f prime of x is equal to the derivative of 1 is 0. Okay, the derivative of x to the 1/2, just bring the 1/2 down. So we have 5 divided by 2 now. X to the 1/2 minus 1, because we know if we have f of x equals x to the n, f prime of x is equal to n times x to the n minus 1. So we're going to go ahead and apply that rule here. Brought the 1/2 down, multiplied that by 5. Now 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2. Okay? Plus, apply the rule here as well. You get minus 1/2 times x. Minus 1/2 minus 1 is minus 3/2. Okay? So the calculus part was just this part right here. Now we're going to go ahead and do some algebra. So we come here, 0, 0, so that's done. I'm going to go ahead and bring x to the negative 1/2 down. So now we have f prime of x is equal to 5 divided by 2 square root of x. Brought the x to the 1/2 down, and then you have x to the 1/2, but that's the same thing as saying square root of x. Okay? And now minus times plus is minus. So you have minus. We have x to the negative 3/2 on the top. We can bring that down. So we have 1 over 2 x to the 3/2. So that's x to the 3/2. Okay? And I'll further simplify this. Let's see, we want to combine these 2 fractions into 1 fraction. So what can we do? We have 2 square root of x, 2 square root of x cubed. So we need to multiply this guy by x squared. Sorry, square root of x squared. So let's go ahead and let's erase this. Get some space here. Okay, so I gotta multiply this one by square root of x squared, square root of x squared, so I can get square root of x cubed, like I have here, prime. So now I have 5. Square root of x squared is just x. Here I get 2 x cubed minus 1 over 2 square root of x cubed. F prime of x is now 5x minus 1. Just go ahead and subtract the top divided by 2x cubed. And now I can take an x out, and my final answer is going to be 2x square root of x. Okay, so I approached this problem by go ahead and taking this fraction and splitting it up into 3 fractions. Then I went ahead and did some algebra. The calculus wasn't done until this part, so I did some algebra, reduced this. I went ahead and expressed this as x to the 1/2 as exponent form. And then I went ahead, expressed it as exponent form, and moved it up. So I got this to negative 1/2. I still did some algebra, so that's 1. I went ahead and subtracted these 2, got 1/2. That stayed the same. Now I went ahead and did the calculus part. Take the derivative of each term. So derivative of 1, 0. Derivative of this guy, bring down the 1/2. So you got 5 halves, x to the negative 1/2, plus, brought the negative 1/2 down, obtained that, and then negative 1/2 minus 1, negative 3/2. Then I came over here, we did some more algebra, found the LCD in order to combine the 2 fractions. We obtained this, and then we went ahead and subtracted the numerator, and we obtained that.